Okay, I just found out that we are getting our new machine delivered tomorrow from the freight company. And I kind of looked at this space, and basically what I'm thinking of doing is I'm thinking of using, I had some of these steel angle bars that are off of my scaffolding that I haven't used for a long time. And they make perfect shelf things. So I think when I get the machine, there's two things that you don't really move too much, which is the air compressor and the air purifier. And I think what I'm going to do is figure out where I want to put them, and I'm going to use these steel angle irons to put them on. That way it kind of gets those two things out of the way. So this machine's pretty big, and you kind of have to leave a little room in the back, you know, for the door to open and stuff like that. So it's going to be sticking out. It's going to be sticking out like this, probably this far. But I'm looking at this space right now, and my machine's coming tomorrow, and I thought this needs a nice sign above this machine. So today we're going to fire up our favorite friend, the Avid CNC. Yeah, just because we're getting a new machine that cuts steel doesn't mean we don't love the Avid CNC. This machine with the Hurricane vacuum system is just a fantastic machine. And so today I'm going to go in my software real quick. We're going to design a new sign for above this new piece of equipment, and just to kind of dress up this area a little bit, and then we'll cut it out on the CNC. Let's get started.
There he goes, it's a working man. He's trying to make a living any way he can. And he'll break his back for $1 or $2. Oh, there ain't no shame in what he do. Oh, work it out.
Okay, I don't usually do too many of these drawing videos just because they're pretty boring. But I'm going to show you how quick. I'm gonna design a little sign here. We're gonna go 57.125 for our width. We're gonna go 48.5 for our height, and then thickness we're gonna go 0.75, and just all standard material settings. Now, I'm just gonna show you how quick I can whip out a sign here. So I've already got kind of a logo, and basically I kind of changed, because I'm going to be doing a lot more different things besides wood. I kind of changed my logo to Outlaw Creations. So right here, so I just brought in this image. And I created this image on ChatGPT. It was pretty easy. We're going to, so let's center it first where we want it. We'll go ahead and center it. You can see it just moved there. And that's actually a good spot for it. So we'll close that. We're going to leave it highlighted. We're going to go up to this little bird right here, Trace Bitmap. We'll click on that. Now, I always bring in my images in black and white. They just come out crisper, and it just turns out better. So right here, type of tracing to use, we select black and white. We go down here to preview. We go ahead and apply, and then we close. Now we can basically highlight the image and delete it. So now we're left with this cuttable traced thing that we just traced off that image. So now I like that. We'll just leave all that the same. Now we're going to go over here to text, and I basically want to put the name of the tool, the machine that's going to be coming. And if you watched my previous video, you know that I purchased an X tool metal fab. X tool 1200 watt metal fab. Yeah, I purchased one of these machines. It comes in tomorrow, so that's why we're kind of getting it getting everything situated. So here's the text that I brought in. Now that's a little too big, and we want to bring it. Let's see if we can move it down here. We want it to be right about down here. Now we want it to be higher, and we want to squeeze it in here a little bit more. See if we can fit it in here. X-Tool 1200 watt metal fab. So that's basically what we bought. So now we can cut this all at once if we want to, and I think that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to highlight both these, go up here to VCarve. Now these settings, I don't want, you need to, if you zero this flat depth up here in this corner and just have none, if you unclick it, it says none, you'll cut through the 3/4 inch plywood. But if you set your flat depth so you don't want to go any deeper than a 1/2 inch. So I got 3/4 plywood, but I'm going to go up to a 1/2 inch deep. And we're using a V-bit 1502 90 degree by Whiteside. And I'll show you a picture of that. And then we'll go ahead and calculate it. Now it's going to tell me I got a bunch of open vectors. We're going to go continue anyway. And let's see what happens. So right there, you can see it's pretty much, it didn't miss anything actually. So let's preview this. Preview visible toolpath. And there's our sign. And then we'll router the edge of that, and we'll put that up above our new metal fab laser that we're getting. 1200 watt, I should have put laser in here somewhere, actually. 1200 X-Tool, 1200 watt metal fab. Should have had laser in here somewhere. But I like that, so let's just go with it. That's no problem. Anyway, I just want to show you how easy it is to create that sign. So we'll go ahead and send this over to the Avid CNC, and we'll see if we can't dress up this little area. Okay, here we are over at the Avid CNC. Turn on the computer. Got a few things to do. Home the device. Put the sheet of plywood on there. We're going to use, it's a vacuum table. And the only important thing that I've learned over the years, and I actually learned this a long time ago, is if you're doing a V-carve, do not do the XYZ with the V-bit. You'll end up off. But if you XYZ with like a 1/4 inch straight cut bit, like I'm doing right here, you actually, so XYZ it with that straight bit, then pull it up, and then remove the 1/4 inch bit, put the V bit in, and then just do the Z. Go back down with the Z, and then you've got your material square, but you're using a V bit. And that's basically what I do here, is I XYZ with the 1/4 inch bit, then I take it out, and then I put the V-carve bit in there. And that's always, and it took me a while to figure out that, because I was V-carving some really intricate coasters a long time ago, and they were all off by like a 1/4 inch. And I finally learned that if I XYZ with a 1/4 inch bit, it comes out nice. And then I basically go down my Avid CNC chart. I make sure that my tool path's all correct. I turn on the vacuum. I warm up the blade, or warm up the router, and just go right down the path. And here we go, we're cutting it. Now, this sign actually took me about an hour to do. And I did have a problem partway through. The 1502 V-carve bit broke. And I don't know if I'm tightening it too tight on the shaft of these 1502s, but I have broke quite a few of those bits in the past also. But yeah, V-carve, that's all we're doing is running one path for this whole sign. And yeah, let me know in the comments what you think of it. And yeah, the V-carve bit, it broke right up here somewhere. And then I had to resend I had to put a new bit in there and then resend it. And but it all worked out good, and I did order a few more 1502 bits. Actually, I'm going to try out a 1506 bit, which is a 90-degree V-carve bit, but it's a 1/2 inch shank. And I think that would be a little stronger when you're doing these long. I think what happens is, you know, if it's a 1/4 inch shaft, you know, and you're doing a really big V-carve, like this is a, you know, basically a 4 foot by 4 foot sign. I think the shaft, it starts to get hot. And, you know, being that it's only a 1/4 inch, you know, I have broken them quite a few times. It broke right there. You can see where it broke. And then I sent it back through. But you can see this is just this is a super simple. I basically designed the logo in ChatGPT, brought it into my Vectric, converted it to a line drawing, added some text, and then cut it out with a V-carve bit on the Avid CNC. And except for the painting, you know, I can tell you that I'm not even going to show my painting anymore because it's so bad. So the trick to what I do is like after I get this thing all cut out and it's looking good, I'll router the edge, and then in order to paint it halfway decent where it doesn't look too bad, what I do is I just spray right into the V-carve letters and the, you know, the whole thing. I just spray into it with whatever colors I'm using, and then I don't bother taping it or anything. And then I carefully sand off the top layer of the paint, and then I'll basically put 3 or 4 coats of polyurethane on it. That's my technique, and it's not very good. I'm just not very good at painting. But anyway, yeah, this thing's getting closer right here. I think this logo is kind of neat looking. I mean, it doesn't really matter. You know, I do most all this stuff for fun, and I like it. I make a lot of toys and different things for kids, and I do stuff around my house. But you know, I'm not in business anymore, so if I do any projects, it's just usually for free for someone, or you know, like I said, I make a lot of toys during Christmas time and for kids in my area. But yeah, this is really cool. We've got some pretty big projects coming up with this laser though, and they're mostly on my property. Like I've got quite a few properties over here, and we're going to do entrances on all of them. And basically I'm going to make all the gates, and the animals in the gates I'm going to cut with this laser. So it should be interesting, and it's fun to learn new things. I really, you know, like this Avid CNC, I've had it for 5 or 6 years now, and I've learned a lot. Matter of fact, I've done some huge 3D drawings with it, and it's just a lot of fun. But it does, you know, there is a little bit of a learning curve, and you just have to, you know, get in there and do it. Right here, I'm cleaning it off, and then I'm going to shut off the vacuum and pull it right off of here. And here you can see the final product. I'll see if I can tilt it up here. And there it is, Outlaw Creations X-Tool 1200 watt metal fab. And actually it looks pretty, you could almost just stain that, I think. But this plywood is actually some pre-finished maple. So I'm hoping I can just paint the inside of it and sand the top right off of it real easy, and then re-clear it. We'll have to see how that goes. But there you go. One big sign. I did it in about an hour. Took about 5 or 10 minutes to draw it and export it to my machine. And yeah, I'll show it all done on the wall. And here it is hanging on the wall, all painted up and ready for my machine. My machine's going to be right underneath this, and hopefully we'll get that machine today, and I will do an unboxing video tomorrow. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe, like the video, and I'll see you next time. Later.
There he goes, it's a working man, break his back for $1 or $2. Oh, there ain't no shame in what